Hey everyone, welcome back to another tutorial and thank you so much for clicking. If you're new here, click on the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that anytime we have a new upload, you'll get notified. Today we are going to learn how to crochet this beautiful lace cover-up skirt. The pattern is very simple and very quick to work. I hope you're going to love it, and this pattern was inspired by this Pinterest picture, and this is what we came up with. So let's get into the video. Okay, so in this video we are going to need about 150 grams of robin yarn. It's a Kenyan brand. It's 100% acrylic, and since it's a thin yarn, I'm going to double the strands to achieve the thickness that I want of a medium weight yarn. So you can use any medium weight yarn that you have, and a hook size 4.5 millimeter. I'll need a darning needle to weave in the ends. I'll need scissors and a measuring tape. So to start, we are going to make a foundation chain of multiples of 6 to measure the hip circumference that you're working with. So make a slip knot. So in this case, I'm going to make 120 chains as my foundation chain, which will give me about 40 inches of the hip circumference. Okay, so I have the foundation chain ready and it's measuring 40 inches when stretched. So I just folded it into 2 so that I can confirm the measurements. So when you stretch this out, it goes up to 20 by 2, that is 40 inches. So the next step is to join to the first chain that we started with right here. So when you're joining, make sure that your foundation chain is not twisted. So we're going to join in the first chain in the 3rd loop. So insert your hook in the 3rd loop and make a slip stitch. So for you to work in the 3rd loop, make sure that your chains are loose enough for the hook to pass through easily. So grab your yarn and pull through to make a slip stitch. Then chain 2. These 2 chains do not count as a stitch, and in round 1 you're going to make 1 double crochet in each and every chain all the way to the end. So in this very first chain we are going to make a double crochet, into the next chain, 3rd loop, insert your hook and make a double crochet. Into the next chain, we're going to make a double crochet. So keep on making double crochets in each and every chain all the way to the end. I'll meet you at the end to show you what to do next. I have come to the end of round 1 and I'm going to join using a slip stitch in the very first stitch, and that's how we complete round 1. and I have a total of 120 stitches, the same number that I started with in the foundation chain. So to begin round 2, we are going to chain 1 in this very first stitch where we slip stitched. Make a single crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, in the third make a V-stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, in the third stitch make a single crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, in the third make a V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the same stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, in the third make a single crochet. So you're going to alternate between V-stitch, chain 2, single crochet all the way to the end of this round. So keep on working and I will see you at the end of round 2 to show you what to do next. We've come to the end of round 2 and we're going to make the last 2 chains and go through the single crochet, make a slip stitch to join. Okay, to start round 3, chain 5, so these 5 chains count as a double crochet, the first 3 chains and chain 2 space. So go through the chain 1 space on top of the V-stitch and make a shell stitch. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 5, skip all these and go into the chain 1 space on top of the V-stitch and make a shell stitch. Chain 5, go into the next chain 1 space on top of the V-stitch and make a shell stitch. So in round 3 we are going to repeat this all the way to the end. Shell stitch, chain 5, shell stitch, and I'll meet you at the end to show you what to do next. Alright, so we are at the end of round 3, chain 2, go on top of the third chain and make a slip stitch, and that is how we complete round 3. To begin round 4, chain 1, in the same chain that you made a slip stitch, insert your hook and make a single crochet, chain 2, go into the chain 1 space on top of the shell stitch, make a V-stitch, chain 2, go into the third chain on top of the chain 5 and make a single crochet, chain 2, make a V-stitch on top of the shell stitch, chain 2, go into the third chain. On top of the chain 5, make a single crochet, chain 2, on top of the shell stitch, make a V-stitch. So repeat this all the way to the end of this round 4, and I will meet you at the end. We are at the end of round 4, and we're going to chain 2 and go through the first stitch to make a slip stitch, and that is how we complete the round. So round 5, chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5, chain 5. The 5 chains count as a double crochet and chain 2, and this round we are going to repeat exactly what we did in round 3. So on top of the V-stitch, we are going to make a shell stitch, so 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. So this pattern is very simple. You're just repeating these 2 rounds, the round of shell stitch, chain 5, shell stitch, and the round of V-stitch, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, V-stitch, all the way until you have the desired length of your skirt. So keep repeating these rounds until you have that length that you want for the skirt. Okay, so my skirt is about 15 inches. Okay, 15 inches long, and I'm going to show you how to make the last round. So I made a total of 27 rounds, and then now the last round, which is round 28, how to make these beautiful picot stitches to give your skirt a nice finish. Okay, so once you complete your last round, which will be the round of shell stitches, chain 1, and on top of the chain 3, make a single crochet, and chain 2 into the chain 1 space on top of the shell stitch, make a double crochet, chain 3, in the space between the double crochet and the chain 2, insert your hook and make a slip stitch. So that is how you make the picot stitch. Then chain 1, yarn over, go back into the same space and make a double crochet, chain 3, in between the 2 double crochets, insert your hook and make a slip stitch, chain 1, yarn over, in the same space on top of the shell stitch, make another double crochet, then chain 3, go back in the space between the 2 double crochets and make a slip stitch, chain 2, go into the 3rd chain, make a single crochet on top of the chain 5, then chain 2, in the shell stitch, chain 1 space, a double crochet, and repeat what you've done on the first shell stitch. So we're going to chain 3 and insert your hook right there, grab yarn to make a slip stitch, chain 1, yarn over, go back into the shell stitch, chain 1 space and make a double crochet, then chain 3, go in between the 2 double crochets, make a slip stitch, chain 1, make a double crochet, chain 3, and make a slip stitch. So repeat this all the way to the end. So the next step is to chain 2 and make a single crochet on top of the 3rd chain, and repeat this all the way to the end. And when you get to the last shell stitch, once you've done you've made the picot stitch, you chain 2 and go through the single crochet and make a slip stitch, then chain 1, fasten, and cut your yarn. So that's how you make the picot stitch stitches for your skirt. All right, so the next step is to make the drawstring. So you just chain, make a long chain. I made 150 chains, and then I attached the tassels. So I have a video showing how to make tassels, and I'm going to leave the link in the description box, so you can check it out and make the tassels if you want to attach them on your drawstring. So that's all for this tutorial, and I hope you've enjoyed the video to this point. Please remember to like, share, and also leave a sweet comment in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and until next one, bye.